Hello, welcome to another Real Raw moment on this beautiful, almost spring evening in my part of the world. The temperature outside is just edging towards, that titch of warmth where you're like, oh, I don't have to wear a sweater anymore. And it's daylight savings time, so now it's daylight longer, which I've gotten used to this week. I wasn't a fan at the beginning because, I don't know, it just messed with me a little bit. But tonight, I'm actually very grateful that I'm sitting here at this time of night and enjoying light and lightness. And as we're edging into spring, of course, the internet and everywhere else is awash with spring cleaning tips and tricks. And we all seem to have an urge to clean in the springtime. I don't know why. If anyone wants to comment below and tell me exactly why that is psychologically, let me know. But it is a time of literal lightness, and we want to lighten our own psyche and we want to lighten our load, so to speak. And that often comes with cleaning, deep cleaning, and getting rid of clutter. So, we're going to talk about clutter today, and we're going to talk about it in the sense of, and this does tie in with parental alienation, so as always, just stick with me. You know how this goes. It's one take. I talk, and I hope it helps one other person feel less alone in this journey of PA and high conflict divorce, high conflict custody, and all the things that go with it. So I'm going to talk today about sentimentality versus practicality. Sentimentality, practicality. But spring cleaning actually leans into both. And I was struck today because I've been going through some boxes that I've hung on to for quite a while. I've, done what many PA people do. Things go in a box, they go into a space. You may revisit them once in a while. You open the box and go, ooh, that's like Pandora's box, and I'm going to close that box. And I'll deal with it some other time when I'm stronger, less emotional, when I can handle it. And I came to a place over the past week of decluttering and making some changes in my home. And I opened that box again. In fact, I did it today. Oh, I know it's a box. It's a box full of frames. So I'm going to tie this back to practicality and sentimentality. Oh no, sentimentality was over here, and practicality. Never the twain they shall meet. So I've opened this box several times. And I've looked at it, and I've closed the box. And it's taking up space. It's not just taking up space physically where I have it stored, it's taking up space mentally. Because each time I see this box, I subconsciously react because I know what's inside it. It's stuff I don't want to look at, stuff that I don't want to let go of, because in order to let go of it, it means I have to acknowledge what's happened in my life in order to cause me to let go of it. And this is mainly about photos in frames. And I've talked before, recently actually, in a video about keeping mementos. And that's okay to keep mementos. We don't have to hide our alienated children away. It's not, we just don't have to do that. And if you want to know a video that is, comment below, and I'll make sure that I put it in there as well. It's actually a really good one. Sorry. Spring also comes with hay fever. It's a little itchy. Anyhow, I'm also trying to keep it light because this is actually a very emotional video for me to do. So I decided today to tackle the sentimentality with practicality, knowing that I could not have this many frames displayed in my home. And even if I did, crazy or creepy as it sounds, these frames actually represent something to me. The actual frames, they're memories. Just even getting the frame is a memory for me. Then seeing the picture inside of it is a whole other memory. And let me tell you, in my opinion, and I have dealt with so many sad things, so many traumatic things when it comes to family, parental alienation, my children, PTSD. And the list goes on. I've been there, my friends. I've been there, and I've had to make a lot of hard decisions, many sad, but practical, and work through those emotions. And here's one thing I found today, and this is why I avoided doing it. And I'll show you the frame I have in a second. That's why I keep looking down. There's virtually nothing sadder. And now this comes into PA, alienation, grandparent alienation, caregiver alienation, estrangement, high conflict divorce, high conflict custody. I think we all get the point. If you're not sure, read the hashtags below. There's virtually nothing sadder than taking a photo out of a frame that represents something from your past life and a life that you no longer have. And I'm not talking about things, I'm talking about people. And so this frame here, and I'm not going to show you the picture because it's personal. It's a beautiful frame. It's 8x10, holds a 5x7 photo. I took this photo 2009 or 10 at the most. Yeah, probably 9 or 10. And it was our first trip to the big rodeo. One of many that actually would become a theme in my kids' lives, to go to the rodeo. And this photo has my ex-husband holding both kids in his lap. And it's just captured. It's a moment captured. And looking at it, it takes me right back to that day. I can remember everything about that day. You know, that's what photos do. That's why we keep them around, right? They are memory teasers. They're reminders of generally good times or people that are important to us, even if people have passed. You guys know what I mean. Photos are a funny thing. And going through this box today, emptying all these frames, it was very difficult. And then I came to this one. And this is the last photo I have anywhere that isn't stored away where I don't see it of my ex-husband and my kids at a time where there was nothing but hope in our lives. I was a new young mom. You know, I remember I was struggling. I remember all the things about it. But that day, we were what I would call a quote-unquote normal family. It just, in a season of lack of normalcy, of what I thought parenting would be, I think from my ex as well, I could say it, stuff just wasn't gelling the way we thought it was going to. And so I've been sitting here with this frame for about a couple hours, and I've been doing other stuff, but I've been actually carrying it around like a talisman. And it's unfathomable for me to think about taking this photo out of this frame. Because as soon as I do, it's acknowledging that memory is gone. It's over. It's never going to be like that again. It hasn't been like that for a long time. And suddenly the memory, the frame becomes empty, like literally and physically and emotionally empty, where I don't have anything current to fill it with. Pardon me. With our kids, school pictures, right? Every year, it's okay that we take out the school picture because we replace it with the new one. As our kids grow, it's okay that we file, these kind of younger photos away and replace them with new family memories and new experiences, or, we expect, I think, and most people or many people growing up have some semblance of a photo album, a timeline of their lives, right? So replacing a photo in a frame, a frame that sat on the counter or the mantle, or, my case, I've moved so many times, but always certain frames were the first things to go up in any place I lived, whether I owned it or rented it. They were my connection to my story, my history, my children. Everywhere that I went that was new and scary at times, there was comfort because there was history. And facing this frame today, And I'll be honest, I still don't know that I'm going to take this picture out of the frame. Going back to sentimentality versus practicality. It's okay to not take a picture out of the frame and just put it away. And I'm giving myself permission, and as always, you can give yourself permission too. That's up to you. I'm giving myself permission to hang on to this memory in the way that it is. Beautifully framed. A perfect little tidbit of a life that didn't turn out the way that I thought it would. But that day, that moment, it was a beautiful thing. And there's a sentimentality. Now the practicality is 95% of the other frames I did empty, put the photos together. They'll go into my photo storage system, and I will do whatever I will with those frames, likely sell them, because they have meaning and I don't want those meaning in my life anymore. I don't want the negativity. But this one frame, this one moment that is now, like I said, 2009, 10, call me 2008. It's been a long time. How about that? And that's okay. It's okay to keep some things simply out of sentimentality and to literally frame and keep framed a beautiful moment that every time I look at it, I'm choosing to look at it and remember that beautiful moment and not all of the things that came after. And that is what I choose to do with sentimentality and practicality. I hope this resonated with you. I hope it resonates with you in your spring cleaning. Comment below.